On today's Retro Spot, we are having a look at the Toy Biz, the Uncanny X-Men X-Force Forearm. Not only does Forearm include the official Marvel Universe trading card, which actually looks like the White Queen, but he also has Forearm punching action. You remember Forearm? No? Not many probably do. Feature up at the top, though, is some artwork from Rob Liefeld. Certainly do recognize that quite a bit. We're also getting ourselves a Strife as well, so that's finally cool that we're getting him in a Marvel Legends figure. Or really at the time that you're watching this video, maybe he's already out. I don't know. Depends on when Spot gets these videos out, eh? Sometimes Spot gets a little behind. On the back of the package, hey, toll-free customer service number. Don't worry, it's not around anymore. The Marvel superheroes, talking action figures. There's some X-Force figures. More X-Force figures that we've already... While we're looking at Forearm, I think we've already had a look at Cable. A couple others heading your way as well. The Uncanny X-Men and some other additional series of X-Men as well. Battle action arms can be posed to create a menacing stance. Push down button, thank you, on back to punch with all four arms. The read-up, by the way, says the evil mutants love to fight. Forearm's favorite boast is that he's the best in hand-to-hand combat. Oh, I see what they did there. Hand-to-hand, to-hand-to-hand combat. It's not a hollow boast either. Forearm can clobber a dozen attackers in seconds. Locked doors can't keep him out for long either. This rapid-fire pile-driver punches can buckle steel. Though he can use guns if he has to. Forearm prefers to fight with his fists because he's so good at it. Magneto, the leader of the evil mutants, is only too happy to let him. Also down below, big savings on Marvel Comics subscriptions. 6 issues for only $5. This was back in the day when a single issue could cost you about $1.25. Those were the days. I used to go to so many comic book stores picking up comics for $1.25. Oh, I could go back in time if only I could. It's remarkable that I don't really would want to save or do anything different to change the course of time. Apparently Spot only wants to go back and buy comics for $1.25. That and to get a McDLT from McDonald's. I miss those. A lone tear falls down my face. Anyways, Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Uncanny X-Men X-Force Forearm. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. The first thing we'll have a look at is unfortunately, the ripped corner of the Jim Lee. This is the Jim Lee X-Men trading cards. I believe this is Series 1. Series 1 of the X-Men cards. Incredible artwork. Sadly, though, they put tape on the inside card, taping this card to that card. So the card wouldn't, I'm saying card a lot, so the card wouldn't come off that back card. Unfortunately, though, they put it on with Scotch tape. So to peel it off, there was no way around it. I end up ripping the bottom of the card off. I mean, luckily I have the complete set, but there could have been some easier way that they put these cards on here. And also, duly noted, this is not the White Queen we're looking at. We're looking at Forearm, but yet, once again, Toy Biz decides they want to give us a different card. They're like, nah, we don't need to give them. I mean, I don't even think there was a Forearm card, but we don't need to give him a Forearm card. Let's just give him White Queen. What else we got in that stack over there? Well, we got Strife. Well, we don't really have any Strife right now. I don't know. Throw him in with Cyclops. I don't know if that's their mentality, but there's White Queen. Emma Frost. Va-va-va-voom. Anyways, moving that to the side. The other thing that Forearm does come with is this, which really, to me, looks like a tuning fork on a chain. Kind of like a mace tuning fork. Ding! What it actually does, I really have no idea, but I can tell you at least it has a plastic chain. That's kind of a nice touch. You can put it in his hand, though it looks like only one hand is actually open to hold the weapon. And you can get something that looks like that. The other hands, well, possibly, you know what? One hand is completely flat, completely open, like he wants to shake your hand. This hand possibly could hold it, and then this one is a closed fist. We know that one isn't going to hold it. Let's see if we can get this into this hand. All right, you know what? It fits in that hand too. Call me a liar. Taking that out, we'll just put that to the side. All right, so as it goes for Forearm, he's not a bad figure, though probably many people have forgotten who Forearm even is. But he has 4 arms. That's where he got his name from. They have some articulation to them, too. They're not just strictly bent or curled arms. You can get some posability out of them. But with his gimmick, you just flip around the back of the figure, and there's a little lever right here, a little button. So what you're going to do is just put your thumb on it, like that. Can't see it? Of course I can turn it around. Push the button down, and he does this. He really, I guess if you line him up properly, maybe he can... No, I thought maybe he could high-five himself. He doesn't do it very well, but... You know, it is what it is. It's a shame that he really can't have just regular arm articulation. I mean, you could rotate the arms, but you can hear how they ratchet themselves. They lock into place, and then the next time you move the back section here, you're only going to be moving them from a different position. His head does rotate as well, and legs move back and forth. He has, sadly, no bend in the knees. Most of his budget went into this. It was either that or knee articulation, and they thought, well, geez, you know, we really should invest something. He is called Forearm. He's not called Knees Bend. If his name was Knees Bend, you bet your bottom dollar he'd have bent knees, but he doesn't. As for his head's not bad. I guess the figure as a whole is just all right. I mean, really, if you were to take the other pair of arms off and he only had 2 arms, he would also only be called Two Arm. But he'd be a little bland of a figure. He doesn't really... Any kid picking this up now would be like, who is this? Who is this guy that you've given this? You've given me this toy. I don't even recognize who this guy is. No, I really don't. I really have no idea who this guy is. Children, this was from back in the day when everybody, especially characters drawn and designed by Rob Liefeld, would either have multiple pockets on the legs, don't believe me, go look it up, or they would have the open hairpiece mask thing going on here. There was a lot of them. There really was. There was a lot of them. I mean, he's not bad. He's not a bad-looking piece, but he's one of those figures that time will not be too kind on this figure. You'll go to bins, toy bins, you'll go to comic book stores, and they'll have these guys in the back corner, you know, covered, maybe in like a mildewy kind of comic book store where you have to go downstairs and it smells like BO. And you're going in and you're looking over and there's all these yellowed carded figures but covered in cobwebs and dust. Guaranteed somewhere in there, Forearm's going to be one of the figures sitting there. Kids are going to look at him and say, who's Forearm? And then they're just going to keep going. They're just going to keep going, and this guy's going to get neglected. He's not a bad figure. His gimmick is somewhat interesting. But ultimately, he's just going to be a figure that's going to come and go and forever forgotten in the annals of time. Way to depress a Spot. I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. That's how things go with certain comic book characters. Come and go, and people are just like, who? Who is this guy? Forearm. You're welcome. Maybe this review will bring a resurgence to this character and people will be like interested in Forearm all over again. That's not going to happen. Forearm, I'm going to give him a 7. Today's Retro Spot, we're having a look at the Uncanny X-Men X-Force. It said X-Force down below there. We're having a look, though, today at Forearm. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Retro Spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Forearm.